So last Wednesday we had the inaugural Poptimist Discord book club voice chat. We're still working out on a name. Anyway, we decided as a group that for the month of July, we would tackle Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses. It's nearing the 30th anniversary of its publication date. And obviously, Salman Rushdie is an accomplished writer. He has won the Man Booker Prize for his book Midnight's Children, which has also won the Best of the Booker for the 25th and 40th anniversary. So we thought we're in good hands, and I have to admit, after finishing Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses, I believe it belongs in that rich pantheon of books that include Infinite Jest, A Brief History of Time, and the Bible as the most bought but least finished books of all time. I have to admit, this thing was a bit of a slog, and I think a lot of the assembled group felt that way as well. And he is an accomplished writer who is truly working it. I think you could open the book to any page and inside find writing that is absolutely dazzling. Read a few more pages and you'd have enough to teach a class. Salman Rushdie is filling it with inside jokes, a rich understanding of the immigrant experience, having been raised in India, Pakistan, and the UK. He draws on the rich historical and apocryphal books surrounding the Prophet Muhammad, which of course, is what got the book banned in over 12 countries and a fatwa issued in his name by the Ayatollah Khomeini that sent him into hiding for 12 years or more. But really, it was tough reading. And I think if it wasn't for the fact that it was part of our Discord book club and I didn't want to disappoint everybody else, I would have DNF'd it a long time ago. And really, that's what I want to talk about is our little Discord book club. First off, Discord. Now, take all of this with a grain of salt. I am aged well past the typical demographic that uses Discord. So I'm taking it from how my daughter uses it. And she uses it as an update to TeamSpeak Ventrilo, which is what I used over 15 years ago when I was playing the first Call of Duty with my friends. And so it is an invite-only voice chat that allows team players to communicate with each other in-game. So while I'm playing Overwatch, I can yell, "There's a Genji trying to flank," and the Reinhardt is low. And it does a fantastic job of that. But on top of it, it adds a Slack-like interface that allows for text-based chat organized by channels. And this is great. There's over a dozen different bookish Discords out there right now. And ours is just a loose assemblage of people. Some booktubers, some not. Everyone just sort of into books and reading that pop by and just talk about anything they feel like. And it's all rather chill. But for a bookish chat, this thing was fantastic. At its peak, our little Satanic Verses Discord book chat peaked out at around half a dozen people. But what was interesting is all the varied time zones these people were coming in from. I had to have an early dinner so I could jump on, but others were logging in at times that I would normally be in bed on a weeknight. We had people from across the pond and folks just 20 minutes down the road. And it worked out perfectly, especially for its inaugural event. Listen, I had no idea how this thing was going to work. It could have been crickets, but it ended up being awesome. It was like a bookish house party without all that awkward eye contact and not knowing what to do with your hands. And it was the perfect number. I'm not exactly sure how this works with more people. If you carry that house party analogy, there's only so many people that you can have crowded around that kitchen island and have a conversation. But it is virtual. People can log in and just lurk in the background and listen without being super creepy. And I love the text chat element of it. Taken out of context of the conversation, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but when you're going along talking about sci-fi recommendations, bam, there's a Goodreads link to Leckie's Ancillary Justice. Someone else mentions a graphic novel representation of Moby Dick, boom, into the feed it goes, which worked out fantastic. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I recorded the entire thing using OBS, which is an open source broadcast system, which will eventually serve as the backbone for my entire Twitch empire, but for now allowed me to record my conversation and those of the people involved in the Discord, which ended up being super cringy. Imagine going to a house party with people that you've never met in real life, who are all clearly smarter than you are, and then listening to what you said the next day. Pure nightmare fuel. What comes out is I'm a wee bit of an overzealous host, peppering everyone with questions and manically babbling over awkward silences. But regardless, I still think it went well. It was a lot of fun, and it went off better than it had any right to. I've never really attended a book club, but this felt about right. It needed a charcuterie board and far less sobriety. I think next time we're going to do it on a weekend so we can include a lot more wine. And like any good book club, we spent a scant amount of time talking about the actual book. and instead spent most of it on a wild digression talking about the Man Booker long list and how none of us have read any of those books, let alone heard of them. Belinda Bauer's Snap, Anna Burns' The Milkman. We also talked about BookTube Beef, an online drama, problematic faves, and a weird digression into manly ASMR where men talk lovingly to their hammers in low whispered voices. We've decided we're going to read Madeline Miller's Circe for September. I've already finished August's pick of The Good Son. Really enjoyed it. Super short thriller read. You can still jump on and get onto that before the end of the month. And if you want a little bit of extra credit, Steve Donahue is doing a Homer Along this month, reading The Odyssey. So as a 1-2 punch, that's perfect. You can start with that. Next month, go right into Madeline Miller's Circe. Regardless, I hope you join us or decide to join us in future events. It is a lot of fun, even if you just want to lurk. I'm sure you'll have lots to add when we inevitably go off on a little tangent. So, again, a link to the Discord in the description down below. Come on by and say hi. We love to have you. In the meantime, I hope you have a great week of reading, and we will talk to you soon.